So I'm gonna. We're coming up on the first half of the hour. It's good timing. So we're gonna get into the interface, and as I said, we're gonna focus on the ChatGPT model for the rest of this session. And the thing that you can do in here, you can sign up. Now, of course, they are offering you the one for free, but we've covered this already. So I'm just gonna click on login for my interface, and then I can just use. You can link it to your own, Apple, Google, Microsoft, whatever login. So you can see that I'm logged in here. Most likely yours is going to say either free or it's going to say plus. The $20 one is plus. I have the pro version. I'm not advocating that you get this. That's $200 a month, but there are reasons why I have this. So if you take a look at this interface real quick, so now you are presented with the interface for using the large language model that is available from OpenAI or ChatGPT, where you can come in here and use this unassuming prompt to ask any question that you want to ask. The way the interface is set up, you will see on the left-hand side is going to be all the different chats that you have had with the large language model. And I'll show you an example now of how these get created. And then you have on the bottom your kind of like your settings, your ability to log out, getting help, doing some personalization, and looking at your orders. So you'll see this on the bottom left. You will see here, this is a little sidebar that closes and opens it, opens this kind of sliding tray, if you will. And then these are your ability to create a new chat. You can search on existing chats, ignore this pulse for a second. Library will hold any assets like any designs that you create, video, images or something like that will go in the library. In the upper side, you'll see a little drop down where you can choose what model. So as I was explaining, from 2023 until today, there was ChatGPT 3, 3.5, 3.5 Turbo, 4, 4.0, 5, and now we're on 5.1. You can decide that, you know what, I want this particular model, to use 03 or 4.5 or 5 thinking, whatever. You can look at all these different models and see the one that best suits you if you get to that level. For the average user, for most of the tasks, you can just leave it on auto, and you will let the large language model decide which is the best model to use. Now, why would somebody why would somebody be like a butthole and decide that, I'm going to go choose the model? The reason for that is because for certain tasks, you want a lighter weight model that works faster, so it doesn't take so much compute time, and it doesn't take a lot of time to respond. Some of the mini models are really useful at that. And what would we use that for? Whenever you're doing, for example, smart cities, we're doing edge compute, we're sitting at traffic lights or sensors, doing weights and measures and things like that. Yeah, I'm not going to be asking it philosophical questions. It's going to be a very fast, telemetry reading and large language model query, but it's very, very kind of targeted and micro universe. So we would need a different model for that. So as I said, for the average user, for day-to-day, trying to look at you trying to become more productive and finding ways to use these large language models to give you more productivity gains and 10x your performance and productivity, then just put it on auto and you should be in a good shape. Any questions? Are we good so far? Okay.
It's good. There are no questions. I was asking everyone, if you do have examples, just put it in. Don't even worry about the prompt. Put in what example you'd like us to try, and Fadi would try some things. So
okay. So now coming into this again, this simplified, unassuming interface. During my earlier spiel, what I was saying is that there's two sides, or I might not have said it. The way that you can leverage this kind of this wave of huge massive wave that's coming of AI is that by having two sides, you look at two different dimensions to the same coin, if you will, the AI coin, if I can call it that. One side is the training. So we trust that an American company is going to do a good job in training and removing biases and things like that. So that's why we look at OpenAI or Grok or Meta or whatever, right? There are other models from other countries, like DeepSeek is a Chinese model. I personally don't trust it just because I don't know what they're doing with my data. I don't know if they're training on my data. So I don't like to use models that I don't have a lot of trust in the in like where they're coming from as an organization. But you have to be just careful, but pick and choose as you see fit for your circumstance. But if you take a look at the training, it's important for us to create a balanced model. I think that's in AI, that's what we're always trying to do. We don't want to create a model that is biased towards that has a bias to, for example, gender or religion or political view or whatever. And the training is very important because a lot of what OpenAI have done and Gemini and all of these large language models, they've spent a lot of time on kind of cleansing that model or let's say adjusting the biases in that model to make it more of a balanced model. So it doesn't give out views that are extreme or eccentric or on the edge of the spectrum, I guess, from an opinion standpoint. And that's the one side of the training. Now the other side is making sure that you know how to ask the right question or that you know how to prompt it, right? And this is where the word prompt comes from. And prompt is this thing right here. This box is the prompt box where you actually type in your inquiry or you type in your question or you kind of describe what is it that you're trying to do. So with that, this is where this prompt compass comes in. And we're, for the purpose of today and the remaining 25 minutes, we're just going to kind of focus on some of the apprentice level the boxes. So boxes 1, 2, and 3. The entire thing is made available for free for you on the Academy, and you can download it. And there's like a flip side to it that takes it all the way to Master Journeyer. And again, this is the same compass that we cover in the NC State class, the 15-hour class. So what we're going to do now is that when you come to prompt here, if you take a look, and by the way, the reason that it's good to print this and kind of put it on your desk and just kind of refer back to it is that if you ever forget, you can just come back here and says, okay, Apprentice, what is a prompt? So we start from the beginning and say, what is a prompt? The practice of crafting precise, structured inputs to guide these ChatGPT or similar to generate relevant and useful responses, right? So that's what a prompt is. And it involves understanding how these systems interpret the questions that you're asking to generate the output.